Don't forget to vote for Joe and put on a happy face. I am running for President of the United States as an independent candidate.
All right.
Campaign 2012. I'm running for President of the United States as an independent candidate, and we have traveled almost 100,000 miles in the last 10 years. I've already declared for Campaign 2012. It's a serious attempt by an average citizen to run for president. We're on the road about 8 to 9 months out of the year, so when I'm back at home, I started doing some house painting on the side just when I got home, and got pretty good at it actually. And after Joe the plumber happened, the last election, the next day I'm being interviewed by a newspaper in Mansfield, Ohio, and the reporter said, well, what do you do for a living? I said, well, I do some part-time house painting, and the headline was, Joe the painter runs for president. I thought, well, that's quirky enough, that might work, you know, so. Nice scooter. Cool.
So when I married Joe, he told me, before we got married, that he was going to run for United States President. And we began traveling, and prior to running for president, he researched America. And so as we started traveling around and researching America, it was real clear that there was a different vision for America, one that is more localized, that is more power at a local level, that involves peace and justice. And I came to believe in it, and obviously we wanted to support Joe and what he's doing, and we wanted our family to be together, so we're all committed to being on the road.
You've got some good campaign managers, I gotta tell you, with those guys.
Those are the family, and they work cheap too.
All our children are part of the team. So Sarah's 14, she is great at organising. She gets her brothers into line and gets me and Joe into line sometimes. Joseph is our 12-year-old boy, and he loves anything mechanical. And so we have him as the apprentice mechanic on the camper, and since we have older vehicles, they tend to break down fairly regularly.
It takes a couple minutes for it to warm up, but okay. Somebody say a prayer. There we go.
And then Jonathan is our young 7-year-old, and he is Mr. Vivacious. You know, he just likes to talk and shake hands and just be part of the crew. So 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we have? You know, we looked at old ideas of raising family and how families work together as well as, you know, play together, and so we wanted that for our families. So in our campaign, we have developed ways where the children are really part of working with the team.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Good, good. I believe very strongly we have the best platform out there. We spent 20 years in the real truest sense doing a listening tour where we went out and took all the topics of the day and interviewed experts and people on the streets and developed a whole platform based on what these people had to say. We might well be the most well-researched candidate out there and the most well-traveled of any presidential candidate, as far as domestic road miles go. And we always joke about the other guys got Learjets and we got an old camper, so it takes us a little while longer to get around. Sarah, I think we should go towards the coffee shop.
A lot of days we do whistle stops, which is we have banners, and we usually invite media out, and we pass out flyers. And so we're doing that most of the morning, so just campaigning a lot during the morning. And then usually the later afternoons we have this family time, exercise. I play basketball, so play basketball. And then in the evening sometimes we have events. But usually that's a typical day.
I am running for President of the United States as an independent candidate. They say anybody can run for president, and you can, but you have to be over 35 years old, and all you have to do is stand up publicly somewhere, whether it's on a website or in a street corner, and say, America, I'm running for President of the United States. But it's really stacked against like a small family from Cleveland running for president, from the standpoint that, just as an example, you need 59,000 signatures to get on the ballot in Texas. Hey, cool, thank you. The obstacle on one level is the national media, because the national media will follow the main candidates from place to place. With us, we get a lot of media as we go from place to place, but it's not national media. So a couple weeks after we've been in a place, people don't see where we're at, and after a while they have a tendency to forget about us. And we actually, when we first started campaigning, we were in Terre Haute, Indiana, and we were doing this whistle stop thing on the corner. And ABC News came out and they put a microphone on me, and this was a local affiliate, and they put the microphone on, and to show you what happens with an independent candidate is I walk up and there's this couple walking down the street and I said, "Hi, my name is Joe and I'm running for president." And the response from the guy was, "You're running for president of what?" "Ma'am, I'm running for president of the country as an independent candidate." I am, seriously.
I can't say how many times we've had people that come up and are supportive, but then you have someone just like yesterday that says, "You're not going to win. There's no way." You know? And in some ways, if you let yourself think that, there is no way we're going to win. Like, just like when you go into a basketball game, you can't be like, "Oh, we're going to lose to this team because they're really good." You know, if you go in that like that, there's no way you're going to win. But if you start thinking that you can win, you work as a team, you got a pretty good shot.
This is our platform. We stand for common sense. We've paid our dues. I mean, this is not, we're hoping when it becomes a national story that it's not a 15 minutes of fame kind of blip on the radar screen, but that people see that we really have been serious about what we've been doing. I happen to believe global warming is real. We need to look more at going to alternative fuel, alternative forms of transportation. We need to go back to bicycles and walking. I mean, people don't even remember what walking is anymore, you know, that kind of thing. And we think, if we don't want Russia spying on us, maybe we should stop spying on them. You know, I mean, duh. All right, God, we thank you for bringing us together here. Across the board, we've taken the gospel message and turned it into a platform. We believe in a consistent life ethic where we're against abortion, we're against euthanasia, we're against poverty, pollution, anything that will end life prematurely across the board. We stand for a better country for our kids. Like right now is a good example. We used to be worried about whether the kids were going to do okay in English class. Now we're more concerned about whether they're going to get shot to death in English class. And we're running as concerned parents from the Midwest. But we try and model it to a degree. I mean, we're kind of protective parents. We actually think parents need to go back to being parents. So that's part of our platform.
I am with my dad a lot when he talks to average citizens in the street. And I think they really are getting tired of big money and the money talking. So I think that people are ready for someone who is average, and I think that's how we'll win, is that we are just an average family.
And there's a lot of average Joe citizens that don't necessarily care what we stand for. They see the Joe the painter with the paintbrush deal, and they're like, "I don't care what you stand for. I'm so tired of career politicians, I'm voting for you." How you doing?
I hope you win, buddy.
Thank you.
Really do.
So the first thing we're going to do when we get to the White House, we're painting a different color. I mean, it's been white for so long.